All right, but now everybody knows about the news that broke Monday about Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman staying in South Bend. So he's officially out for the Giants head coaching gig. Mike Berardino is a Notre Dame football beat writer for the South Bend Tribune and IndyInsider.com, and he's on to talk to see if there was even a chance that Coach Freeman could have ended up in New York. Mike, thanks for hopping on with us. The news broke Monday. I was sick yesterday, but you're the first person I thought of. I'm going to play this clip from when Coach Freeman was here in this exact studio, and I asked him about his name being in high regard in the Giants facility as a head coaching candidate. Here's Coach's response.
Well, I think the gratitude you have for one even being mentioned by an organization like that, I got a lot of respect for all NFL teams, but the history of the Giants is tremendous. And but it's gratitude for me. It reminds me of the honor that I have to be in the position I have.
Yep.
I've said that before. I use that to remind myself of the gratitude that I have for this position, because you wouldn't have said that statement if I didn't have this job and we weren't having success.
All right, Mike, that was December 2nd. A lot has happened since then. It sounded like there was some sort of interest in coaching for that Giants job there from Coach Freeman. So how did Notre Dame manage to keep him in South Bend and away from East Rutherford and the NFL?
Well, the first thing that Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director, did is stay proactive. I asked him about that on December 9th, about 1 week after you guys talked, you and Coach Freeman. And I asked with all the interest annually, it seems now, last year was the Bears kind of lurking before they went with Ben Johnson. How do you stay proactive? And that's when Pete Bavacqua gave a 2-minute answer that anybody would love to hear from their boss, to know how valued they are in the workplace, essentially saying how blessed everybody felt at Notre Dame to still be having Marcus Freeman as the head coach, entering now year 5 in 2026. And one thing that really struck me that day was that the contract extension that Marcus signed a year ago, leading into the college football playoff, ran through 2030. But Pete Bavacqua, the athletic director, said he views it as a living, breathing document. He said that 3 weeks ago. And as far as I know, the only thing that gets that description is the Constitution. So now there's two things. You can reopen anytime they need to the Freeman contract, and that's what they did. They tacked on another year, reportedly, and they bumped him up into that top tier of college football coaches. And that gap between the top pro coach salary level and college level has narrowed, it seems, in recent years, because everything's transactional at the college level now. And it's essentially a minor league feeder system.
When I had asked him that question, it seemed like he was somewhat interested in taking maybe the Giants job or even any head coaching job, but he was very politically correct with his answer. So from knowing Marcus Freeman and being around him and this team for the last 5 years or so, do you feel like there was any real interest from Coach Freeman about possibly taking the Giants job or any NFL job? And do you would think that he would have been a great hire for the Giants?
Well, I'll answer the second part first. He'd be a great hire anywhere. Jeremiah Love was asked this question at the Heisman Trophy ceremonies, and I was there for that. And he made the point, and you have to agree with it, that Freeman would be good at any level. He'd be an excellent hire at any level. There's one level beyond this where he's currently at. That's the NFL. Could I see him going there someday? Sure. But I also think that you have to remember they build statues here in South Bend for the coaches who win national championships. Notre Dame was 1 game away from statue time last season. This past fall, obviously, as everyone knows, left out of the college football playoff, but it was the team nobody wanted to face. They have C.J. Carr coming back next year. He's going to be very tough to get out of South Bend at any point. But right now, clearly he was in listening mode, but the time was not right.